Welcome back to the KrisCross Corner Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Canty. We have the great debaters on the show, Christopher Bird and Basil. Today we're going to be talking about the GOATs, the greatest of all time. Greatest of all times. So we have a list of a lot of great NBA players in this tier list today. We can't really say that any of them are bad because they're all the greatest of all time. So on this tier list, we have God tier at the top, amazing. We have good, the average ones, and then we have all right now. Are they really the greatest of all time at the bottom? Okay, they're all great, but at the bottom it's like, okay, I understand, but why are they on this list anyway? So we're gonna have great arguments for all of them. Some of them aren't really GOATs yet. I can see a lot of them aren't really GOATs yet, but maybe 10 years later they'll be called the GOAT. But right now, oh my God, I'm an NBA fanatic, but it was Karl Malone, and who was his partner on the Jazz?
John Stockton.
John Stockton.
Kris.
John Stockton.
Kris getting off to a bad start, man.
I'm getting off to a bad start. That's why I got y'all here. Okay, we got John Stockton.
The best cheat for the original NBA Jam. All you had to do was just be below Stockton, and you could from half court.
The pick and roll. That's all I had to do. It was wet like water.
John Stockton, one of the best players never to win a championship. One of them, arguably.
I would say
they should have won. They should have won in '97 and '98.
Stop. Anyway,
yes, they should have. If Steve Kerr didn't make that shot in '97, they would have won. If Steve Kerr didn't make that shot in '97, they would have won. And if Michael Jordan didn't do that push off in '98, they would have won either. So that's two championships for Michael Jordan.
But did they do enough before that to actually win the game? And the answer is no.
I mean, they did. It was basically one shot would win the game.
Well, they didn't do their part.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That he's the best player in the world not to win a championship based on those things.
That's one of them.
I'm saying if Steve Kerr didn't make that shot, which was a lucky shot, in my opinion, it was still made. It was a lucky shot to win Michael Jordan's fifth ring. And the sixth ring was very controversial because he definitely pushed off my man's to get that shot off. So
it was different.
And we'll get to him in a second. But right now we're talking about John Stockton.
I'm about to say, let's not ignore the fact that on the play before Michael Jordan did the push off, let's not forget that the Jazz did turn the ball over when Michael literally went backdoor and stole the ball from Karl Malone.
They did. He did.
It was a clean steal.
Okay, it was a clean steal. There was still one basket behind.
Hey man,
Michael Jordan passed it to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr. I was like, oh shit.
Well, John Stockton, I will say this. As far as people to ever play the point guard position, you can make a legit argument for him being top 5. Personally, I can agree with that. As far as top 5 point guards to ever play at his position. Because if we're talking about true point guards and such, when you're the all-time leader in assists and steals in the NBA history and such, you're in a different kind. And not about his durability, he played like David 20 years in the league, which never happens nowadays.
Yes, it does.
Especially most of the time nowadays. But right now,
nowadays you can play like 30 years.
Well, back then, with how physical the league was back then.
Yeah, back then, yeah. Because they were like, I'm going to play on a broken ankle. Yeah, I'm going to play it for 20 years. No, you're not.
But I would say John Stockton, and plus he has records that I believe will never be broken. So I'll put him in amazing. Me personally.
Okay.
I know he didn't win a championship, but when you talk about the model of consistency over 2+ decades, you gotta respect that.
Hold on. Before Basil does his argument, for my tier list, if you've won a championship, okay, that already puts you in the good category. However,
because I already see where this is going.
No. If you are God tier means, hey, you got the championships, you are on great teams, and you are widely regarded as one of the greatest of all time. If you talk about basketball, these are the people you talk about first. That is God tier.
You know who he's going to try to say is good?
Who?
But by your definition, then Darko is good.
I never said anything about Darko, but since you said it,
you know what, Basil?
Darko Milicic, who's not even on this list.
Because I already knew where you were going to be going with this. No, because that's stupid logic.
You started this conversation. I didn't.
Hey, does this mean Scalabrine is also good too?
Yes, he wanted.
Basil, that's
he's
right
got
too.
multiple rings.
First of all, I wasn't even going to talk about this today, but since you brought it up, Darko Milicic should be in all right now, okay? Because first of all, he didn't play in the finals, okay, for his first championship. He was the youngest champion ever in US in NBA history.
Is y'all hearing this right now?
Yes, we're hearing this. I'm just spitting out facts. I'm spitting out facts. The Detroit Pistons selected Darko Milicic, number 2 in the 2003 draft over Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. Hell, he even drafted him over Kendrick Perkins.
Do you see what you did, Basil?
Oh, see, he says he wasn't going to bring it up, but I already knew exactly.
But you brought it up.
No, I didn't. I wasn't going to bring it up at all. I wasn't thinking about Darko. I was looking at the people right here on this tier list.
No. Here's the problem, though. You say that right now, but if we later come to an argument and say like, no, they're only just good because they didn't win a championship, it's like, okay, who would you say is better then? Hey, and then you'd be like, Darko is. Be like,
hey, at this point, Darko's better than John Stockton because he won a championship.
This is exactly what I feared you were going to do.
Because you brought it up. You brought it up, Basil.
No. I already saw this coming a mile away.
Hey,
half an hour down the road.
Hey, Basil, when it comes to tier list, I stick to the choices who are right here in front of me. Darko's nowhere near this. Darko's nowhere near the greatest of all time.
Darko shouldn't be in the same sentence as
Hell. I'll put Tayshaun Prince before Darko.
However, I already knew right off the bat that by the time we got to probably like
Go on.
Where's a nice good one in the middle where it's like that they never won a championship. You like, well, Darko won a championship.
No. Charles Barkley. He never won a championship.
See? And you'd have been like, but you know who did though?
I wouldn't even say he's like amazing or God tier either. I would say he's a good or if at best average.
Okay.
We were talking about greatest of all time.
Now we're getting disrespectful.
No, we're not. No, we're not getting disrespectful of all. We're talking about greatest of all time. What great thing has Charles Barkley done? Besides being one of the best defensive and offensive players of all time.
Are we just taking pro career or are we taking college and pro career to
consideration? We're talking about the NBA. We're talking about what he's done for the game of basketball. Over Michael Jordan.
Okay, let's talk about
Magic Johnson, Wilt Chamberlain.
I'm about to say, are we going to talk about
Tim Duncan?
Okay, are we going to talk about? Okay, I'm not going to say that Charles Barkley belongs in amazing.
Even Scottie Pippen.
Okay, I'm not saying that Charles Barkley is going to go into like amazing guys. I'm not saying that, but at least in good. Because he was a really damn good player.
Yeah, I would say good.
All
I'm saying is I already saw
a low good player. He would be top of
all average. I'm saying is I saw you doing this like halfway down the road now. No. So I just
have PTSD of me talking about Darko Milicic. He has PTSD. Anyway, we're going to talk about Wilt Chamberlain next. He played for the Philadelphia Warriors when they were the Warriors of Philadelphia. Now the San Francisco Golden State Warriors. Wilt Chamberlain, obviously, only person to score 100 points in a professional men's game, without the 3-point line. So he was out there shooting buckets. So I think Wilt Chamberlain should be in God tier.
I mean that ain't gonna get no argument for me.
You already know.
Ain't gonna get no argument for me.
It's Wilt Chamberlain.
It's fucking Wilt Chamberlain. That's what I gotta say. Shit.
Right.
Next.
Next we have, I think this is Oscar Roberts.
I'm very sure it is Oscar Robertson.
Oscar Robertson. I mean, when it comes to the game of basketball on a professional standpoint, he is one of the
I don't want to hear this.
Look, when it comes to stats, he's one of the best players of all time.
He was Russell Westbrook before Russell Westbrook.
Right. But when we talk about basketball in the NBA, does Oscar Robertson really come to your mind?
Yes.
No, when you say NBA, does Oscar Robertson really come to your mind when you first think of NBA basketball? Your top 5?
Well, when it comes to what type of era you were born in.
Yeah, but when you talk about basketball, Christopher Bird, does Oscar Robertson come into your mind?
Later on.
At first.
Not at first.
Exactly. Not at first. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next one. I would say he's top of amazing. He was an amazing player based on stats. I never really got to see him play, so I can't really say he was a great player.
Dude, we never did see him play. What you mean?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying we never got to see him play, but his stats are amazing. That's why he's the greatest of all time.
That sheet stuff supreme.
Now, let's go to a player that we all on this podcast have seen before. Mr. Dwayne Wade, who we did not choose in the 2003 draft because we chose Darko Milicic. And that is what Basil was fearing this whole time. Thank you, Basil. Anyway, Basil, Dwayne Wade won the championship in 2006, 2012, and 2013. With Shaq, and then the next run with LeBron James and Chris Bosh, Shane Battier, Mario Chalmers. Remember Mario Chalmers?
Wait. Let's put
Ray Allen.
Norris Cole.
Wait. Norris Cole. Hold on. Wait. Mike Miller.
Rashawn Lewis.
Wait. Birdman. Remember Birdman?
That
was some good years in Miami.
Good in the league.
Let's hear some arguments. Let's go to Chris Bird first.
Dwayne Wade belongs in, and I hate to say this, because Dwayne Wade is one of my favorite players growing up. But Dwayne Wade belongs in good, at top of good over John Stockton. For now. He should have won, and he should have won at least one league MVP over his career. He should have. He got robbed of it. But we look.
Who took that one?
Who won it?
Was it Shaq?
No. Shaq won his last league MVP.
That was in 03, right? Or 2?
Yeah, I think that 02. That was when Shaq won his last league MVP. But Dwayne Wade, I ideally probably should have won it in
2012 or 2013.
No, LeBron won both of those years.
No, I'm just saying. No, you say he would have won. I'm still saying he would have won in 2012.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade probably should have won. Maybe 2011. Well, no, that was the year Derrick Rose won. Probably 2010 or 2012. One of those 2 years. Mm-hmm. Because from 2013 to 2016, those were pretty injury riddled years. But Wade should at least won one league MVP during his career. But when you look at the championships, the man has been the main staple of the franchise, for literally his entire career and such. Mm-hmm. I know people got hella hype when LeBron came out, but they always showed hella love for Wade came out. I mean, it's Wade County for a reason. It really is. It's Wade County for a reason. That's
you say Wade County. It's Dade County, but it's okay.
Dade County, but they call it Wade County down there. I mean, I know LeBron was there, but
you listen to Pitbull songs? I'm playing.
But I know LeBron was on the team, but Dwayne Wade was always the face of the franchise. Hell, he's one of the main reasons why the Miami Heat was. If we really think about it, really kind of came back to life.
Right, because they were nothing. They were big in the '90s, but then they had a little stint. It
was a stint where they were kind of there. They weren't they were just. Yeah,
we're just playing basketball in Miami. But then they drafted him in 2003. It's on.
But I would say I say that's a good spot. Top of good over John Stockton. Okay. So that's my argument.
Okay. All right. Now we have one of the people he won a championship with, Mr. Barbecue Chicken himself.
God tier easily.
Mr. Shaquille O'Neal.
God tier easily. There's no debate.
We got to talk about this. Hold on. We got to talk about this.
Ain't no debate.
Yes, there is. We got to talk about this. Was it 1992 draft he was drafted?
92.
Orlando Magic. All right. He went to the finals the summer after I was born, 1995. You know what I'm saying? Then he got traded to.
Wait. Let's put the main one out there. They knocked out the Bulls in the playoffs in the process to make that happen. Let's point that out there as well.
Okay, it was the 95 Bulls. We don't care. Anyway, we had the three-peat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in 2000, 2001, and 2002. Still one of the best finals runs of all time, if not the best one of all time. 2001, which we will talk about. Which we will talk about that one in the 15-1 in a few slots in a few moments. Shaquille O'Neal deserves to be in God tier.
Exactly.
Because you can't talk about in the NBA without talking about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq.
Can't do it. These Shaq, Diesel, everything. Like when you talk about the most dominant big man that I have personally have seen play the game of basketball. Literally, if you had Shaq in the low post, you might as well get the hell out the way. Because there's no way you're gonna stop that.
Boom. You're gonna lose.
You ain't gonna stop that. Hey, seriously.
He also has like the leading scoring numbers too.
Exactly.
It's crazy for a center.
Look at, that was back then when centers really dominated the league. And, and like right now, the way that the league is right now with the running, with the run and shoot offense and such. Oh wait, no, that's a football term. What am I doing? With the pace and space side of the game is played right now. That was at the time to where literally big men would literally, it was barbecue chicken in the low post. And with Shaq literally there, like that's an easy 25 if not more a night and such. Like Shaq literally has like, and I know a lot of us, we know of him as cracking up jokes like inside the NBA, but really his career and the stats, the man's had an incredible career.
My man's was John Cena before John Cena started doing the other t-shirts. He was on team every year.
I agree.
But yeah, who's his next person? I forget. Is this Hakeem?
Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Hakeem Olajuwon from the Houston Rockets.
Fun fact, the very first player who was drafted in the NBA when David Stern was commissioner. Fun fact.
The first person?
Yep.
What was it, 1980?
It was the 83 draft.
Damn, he was commissioner for a minute.
Yep. So when David Stern took over the league in 82, Hakeem Olajuwon was the very first overall pick in David Stern's first year in the as NBA commissioner, and that was his first pick. And in David Stern's last season, Hakeem came out, as like a homage to that. So fun little fact.
He did win 2 titles. I put him in amazing. He was really amazing in the 90s.
I'm putting him in God tier. I'm sorry.
Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon?
Absolutely.
I put him over Oscar Robertson, definitely, but as a star power. Hakeem Olajuwon. Not God tier yet. Not God tier.
He's in God tier in my eyes. Because when you think about most conversations come up about who's the greatest center to play the game, most of the time it's going to be Hakeem.
Hakeem, yeah. Shaq, Hakeem,
those are main
Andre Drummond.
Wait, hey,
you gotta say it. You gotta say it. You gotta say Andre Drummond.
Who's that with Shaq? I missed.
Shaq is up there, and then that's Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Then we have Amazing with
screen, black
Hakeem,
and white.
and then you have Amazing, which is Hakeem and Oscar Robertson. Good is Wayne Wade and John Stockton.
And all that, but if my memory serves me correctly, I believe Hakeem is the only player, if not other than Giannis, to have to have actually won Defensive Player of the Year, NBA MVP, NBA champion, and NBA Finals MVP in the same season in '94.
Okay, just for that, he's gonna be in. He's gonna be a God tier.
You literally won everything by yourself, and you carried your team to the chip.
Wait, that doesn't
with Kenny the Jet Smith also on inside the NBA.
Oh wait.
Also, all on 90. No, that can't be right.
Yeah,
that's right. 94 and 95 championships. That's when they won.
Look it up. Look it up, Basil. Do your history.
Fact check. You can't say do your history. That's rude. You can't say that's rude, Chris. You gotta say fact check.
Fact check. Okay.
Fact check.
But here's the fact check. Robert Horry has more championships than Michael Jordan.
Can we not talk about Robert Horry on this show?
Hey, if we talk
Can we not talk about Robert Horry?
Can we talk about Bill Russell?
First of all, Robert Horry would never be mentioned on this show ever again. Don't ever say his name. Don't say his name. All I gotta say is 2005. That's all I gotta say. 2005.
Well, I guess he did have
fucking Spurs. But anyway, speaking of 15-1, that 15-1 route for the Lakers, the one was the Philadelphia 76ers. And actually, it was Allen Iverson featuring the 76ers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Allen Iverson pretty much carried that team to the finals. He was pretty much the face of the franchise for a good chunk.
He was. But forget the face of the franchise. I would say
he was the face of the city.
No, forget the face of the city. I would say the face of the league. Because if you go back and look at the original NBA 2K games that came out from
he was 3 covers back to back to back.
He was 3 covers, yeah.
I don't have like 4.
No, from back to back. He didn't have 4 back. He had boom, 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 and then
2000, 2001, and 2002.
Later.
Yeah, but if you look at the league and such, and like how much the league changed, especially with players that present themselves, I honestly don't know what the Trailblazer in that. He really was, if you really think about it.
I put him in good just because he's had the impact on the league. Most of the rules in the league have changed because of Allen Iverson. A lot of the way people dress in pop culture and all the way around changed just because people are coming to the gym dressed like Allen Iverson.
We're talking practice, man.
Practice.
Just think what he could have done if he just went to practice.
No, he did go. He was one of the greatest of all time, Basil. You just talk about practice.
Yeah.
Talk about practice?
Kris. Another reason, and let me go back to Hakeem real quick. Another reason why Hakeem deserves to be in God tier, he's the only center in the history of the NBA to be top 10 all time in steals, and he's the NBA all-time leader in blocks.
Yeah, he's got you. Okay, this is Bill Russell because I don't see any other picture of Bill Russell.
That's Bill Russell.
Okay.
I mean, there's
it could be, but the screen's a little.
It's definitely Bill Russell.
Yeah, this is Bill Russell.
It's the only one that makes sense.
Whenever I think about black folks in the Celtics and back in the 60s, you think about Bill Russell because you can't really think of
effing Russell. How many rings does he have?
11.
He had 11 for every finger.
Every finger and one extra.
Yeah, and one extra.
I'm about to say, it's 10 fingers.
I know.
He's got a toe ring.
So him and Phil Jackson have the same amount of rings. Ain't that about a bitch?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Phil Jackson might have more.
No, you know what?
Phil Jackson has more rings than him. Because didn't he have one as a player? Yeah.
11 rings. 11 rings in Boston still.
Yeah, but the thing is that Phil Jackson has 11 rings as a coach, as a player.
So he's 13.
Yeah.
So technically that's 13, and ain't nobody fucking with that.
Not even technically, he has 13 rings.
Yeah, ain't nobody fucking with that.
All right. No, Steve Kerr's almost there. If the Golden State Warriors keep winning.
Which means Steve Kerr has as many rings, if not more, than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he does.
That's the same way Robert Horry has as many.
We're not going to talk about that man on this show. We're not talking about Robert Horry on this show. You see this sign right here? You see this sign? We're not talking about Robert Horry.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, who is
this? I don't even know.
Wait, that's wait. That's Bob Pettit.
It's who?
All right, next we're gonna move on to
that Bob Pettit.
What's the next one?
That's Kevin McHale.
Kevin McHale. Now, Kevin McHale, one of the best coaches, I would say. He was one of the greatest players on the Celtics squad. He wasn't as good as Bird or Bill Russell or Kevin Garnett
or Bob Cousy.
Who? I'm playing.
Oh.
I put him in amazing because he's one of the best Celtics players of all time.
Here's the thing: the Celtics team alone could damn near fill this list.
They could,
and the Lakers could fill the damn near. Oh, damn!
They pretty much do as we move on in this list. Yeah. As we move on in this list. Speaking of my argument earlier, Charles Barkley.
Good.
he's a good GOAT. He's a good greatest of all time. He's not like amazing or top tier, in my opinion.
I would say good above Allen Iverson.
Yeah, that's why I would put him right there.
Good above Allen Iverson.
No.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Allen Iverson only had like 8 years of good play.
I'm gonna have a hot take with this one. All right, get ready.
All right, hot take. Here we go.
You don't think the round mound? What was it? The round mound and the pound or something like that?
The mound round of rebound, Basil.
Yeah.
Or the leaning tower of pizza.
Leaning tower pizza.
Look, you said round mound to pound.
Hey, when you take a look at round mound of the pound cake, but by I don't think Charles Barkley.
You got Chris dying over there. Look at what you done.
I was about to open a can of Dr. Pepper. Then you said round mound to pound. I was like. Anyway, go ahead.
He looks like if he was a dog, he looked like a bulldog. But I don't think he was that big of a deal in the 90s. So I'm gonna be honest.
If you think about, he was. If you know all the teams that were huge in the 90s, Charles Barkley was a huge deal.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, the only reason why I even knew who he was in the 90s was only because of Space Jam. That's it.
Oh God! All right, Basil.
That's it. I knew who Bugsy was before Charles Barkley.
Basil, for that right there, that pretty much disqualifies a lot.
Anyway, all right. We're gonna move on to the next one. I forget who this person is.
That's Moses. Okay,
is it Moses?
No, that's Clyde Drexler. That's Clyde.
Yeah.
Drexler.
Okay, that's Clyde. Okay, I don't know who these people look like. So I know the names. I just don't know what they look like. Clyde Drexler.
It's the quality of photos for me that's throwing me off.
Who did he play for? The Trailblazers?
The Trailblazers, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is his Team USA jersey. So
yeah.
Clyde Drexler.
And fun fact, how is this for a fun fact? In the same year, in the 83 draft, that obviously Hakeem and Jordan went 1 and 3 overall. Overall in that draft and such. The Houston Rockets had, I want to say, draft rights to the number 3 pick, and I think they also had Ralph Sampson. It was like some type of trade that could have happened. So basically, what could have happened is that it could have been Hakeem. Well, it could have been, I think, Hakeem,
Jordan, and Drexler
on the same team in the 80s. How's that?
No. That's like they're young though. They were young.
Yeah.
But
how's that for scary?
In a era dominated by Lakers, Celtics / maybe the Sixers and the Pistons.
Yeah. Come on now.
So, you could say that there'll be a threat, but they won't be a threat because Michael Jordan wasn't a threat until the 90s.
Because we were whooping that ass all the time. That's why.
Sure was. Plus, Michael Jordan didn't have a team until 1990. So, obviously.
He had something going in starting 88.
He had something going, but he ain't getting past Bill Laimbeer in that elbow. He wasn't getting past that. So, Clyde Drexler.
I get the fact, he was he was a 10-time NBA All-Star, but I would put him, I'll probably put him right there in average.
I wouldn't even put him in average. I'd put him in all right.
I would do that. Yeah,
all right now. No. Why is he even in the cover? He's not even the greatest of all time. Like he's one of the best players on the Trailblazers. But
that's a good argument. He's one of Portland's best
when
players.
When you look at the Portland Trailblazers, you think of Lillard and you think of Clyde Drexler and maybe Ruben Patterson.
Bill Walton.
Okay, Bill Walton maybe.
Who's won their only championship?
Okay, Bill Walton.
Bill Walton played for the Trailblazers?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep.
Damn, look this up, Basil.
He did. I forgot about that. He said, I was like, wait, shit. He did.
See, I'm glad you had me on here. I'm glad you got me on here.
I'm glad too, because I don't know most of these people from their faces. This next one for the Nets.
The next one should be obvious.
It's Dr. J, man.
It's Dr. J.
That is Dr. J. I can't see shit.
That's that uniform and everything.
The New Jersey Nets.
It's
the New Jersey Nets.
That's back when the Nets were still the ABA.
That's true.
Kris exposed himself, y'all.
I'm not exposing myself. I said I know the names. I don't know what they look like.
I'm joking with. Okay, now hear me out.
Now, Dr. J. No, I'm gonna say this right now about Dr. J. Now, Dr. J. Now, when it comes to the Dr. J and the ABA, one of the best players in the ABA. Now, the New Jersey Nets have never won an NBA championship. They were close, really close, in the early 2000s. That's as close as they've been. That's as close as they've been.
The one with the Clippers.
But Dr. J, they have a shot.
He was the face of the league.
Mm-hmm. Who, Dr. J?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. However, I will put him in good.
I got an issue with this one.
At the top of good over Dwayne Wade.
I got an issue with this one.
Okay, what's your issue with Basil?
You're talking about how back in the 70s, like Dr. J was part of that group that helped start the whole slam dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a heads up,
he was.
He was.
I might have to change my pick.
Him and Gervin.
I'm gonna put him in amazing.
Oh no! I'm sorry. We gotta go one notch up, dog. We gotta go one.
No,
notch
I'm
up.
putting him in amazing. Like he can't be got to. He can't be got to.
Can I make my case?
Go ahead, Kris.
Okay. I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, well, though the New Jersey Nets technically never won anything in the NBA and such," which I understand. But if you look at the fact that the reason why the NBA and the ABA had a merger was because of Dr. J. The man was literally the entire face of the NBA for a full decade. In his 16 years as a player, in his 16 years as a professional basketball player, none of the teams that he was on ever missed the playoffs. He's never missed the playoff for an entire 16-year career. The man's won 2 ABA championships, 2 ABA playoff MVPs, an NBA Most Valuable Player MVP award, and the '83 championship with the Philadelphia 76ers when they beat. Well, forget beat. They swept the Lakers and a prime Lakers team at the time. A prime Lakers team. I'm talking with Magic, with Kareem, with James Worthy. Got the cats up out of there. They're the only team other than the 2001 Lakers to have one game short of a perfect undefeated season in the playoffs and such before winning the chip. He's probably, when you think about another name who's on this list way later on, he himself said Dr. J was the main inspiration for him playing basketball. He's probably your favorite player growing up. When you think about the doc, and
so I guess he's amazing, right?
He's been got here, man.
Let's put it this way.
Overall influence on the league.
Let's put it this way. When you had EA Sports, when they're like, hey, we want to do this whole new thing of like EA Big, of just doing like crazy over the wall sports.
Yeah, I remember.
Where it's like, okay, yeah, they had SSX. Then they're like, okay, we want to do something with basketball. We want to do street basketball. Not only did they have Dr. J in the Legend, but then they also said, we got to make a legend. Where like the first game, the big old villain that you have to beat at the end of the game is Stretch Armstrong, who's based on Dr. J.
I know. Oh, I know.
Like the fact that you have a whole fictional character from a video game series that involves street ball that was based on the guy. How many other NBA legends can say that they have, a fictional like street basketball player that's basically a copy and paste of them? Just them, not a collaboration of all other players into one, just them.
Exactly, like at the end of the day, it's such
you guys make a good argument. I'll put him in a guy too.
When you think about the overall influences in the league or so, when you think about the first few names that come in the NBA, Dr. J is one of those names that everybody knows about.
I wouldn't say everybody, because a lot of kids today don't know who Dr. J is.
Well,
I didn't know who he was until I saw. I didn't know who he was until I looked up some NBA history.
They're gonna bloody learn today.
Oh my god! And this maybe is just showing my age, but when I think of like old basketball, okay, I think of Wilt Chamberlain. I think of afros. I think of the big old knee socks and everything like that. Most of the time, when I think of what's the most stereotypical like 60s and 70s basketball player, it's just a copy of Dr. J.
Just
big old bit, sweatbands on both wrists, socks that are like way past your knee and everything. Converses. That's him.
All right, Basil. All right, Basil. You mentioned
really. He should have been the face instead of Jerry West. To be completely honest,
should have been.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to him in a few moments. David Robinson. From the San I gotta say it right. You gotta say the San Antonio Spurs. The home of big old women.
Yeah, big old women. They're churros.
The churros. Double-fisted churros. Anyway, moving on. David Robinson. David Robinson.
David Robinson for me goes into amazing.
When it comes to the legacy of the game of basketball, David Robinson was literally the beginning of the dynasty of the San Antonio Spurs.
He was.
The beginning. Tim Duncan took it and ran with it. Okay. He took it and ran with it. And I believe that David Robinson in this tier list, in my opinion, will have to be in the top of good.
The top of good?
Top of good. He was a good.
That
he wasn't
sounds,
the greatest.
The top of good?
You don't think of David Robinson when you think of the Spurs?
That's about right.
The top of good?
Yes.
Oh my Lord. The blasphemy.
Actually below Dwayne Wade, because everybody
knows Dwayne Wade.
But David Robinson, he was the beginning of the start of the dynasty.
Wait, hold up.
Okay.
If we're gonna
go ahead.
If we're gonna say he's gonna be below anyone, we should have him below John Stockton.
Okay, you're right.
What?
Like I
honestly
think John Stockton should be put at the end of amazing, but if he's gonna be good, then I feel like there's a lot of players that need to be put after John Stockton if he's gonna be left in good. See, this could all been avoided by just having John Stockton at the very end of amazing. But
oh my Lord,
this is what Kris did.
You know what?
There we go. Yeah, David Robinson, he was a great player, but I wouldn't say he's better than Tim Duncan.
I mean, I'm not going to say that either, but I'm saying the man was an amazing player when he did play. We're talking about a guy, a 2-time NBA champion, a former league MVP, a 10-time All-Star, a 10-time member of the All NBA of the All NBA team, and one of 4 people in the history of the league to record a quadruple double in one bloody game himself.
Okay.
One of the other people doing on this list, Hakeem's on this list as well. When you look at the guy's frame and his build, and the guy actually was coming out of the Navy. He almost didn't even make it into the league because, and this may sound insane nowadays and such, but it was almost said that he was too tall, almost too tall at least to make it inside the league and such. The only reason why he played basketball was because, according to the Navy's high requirements during his time that he did serve as a naval officer, that he was too tall to serve. So what did he do?
Yeah.
So what he ended up doing? Becoming a very, very, very amazing basketball player for the Spurs for a very, very, very long time and such.
Yes, he did.
David Robinson.
And like I said, he was the start of the dynasty of the Spurs. Now, he was part of the famous Twin Towers of the San Antonio Spurs, which the other half of the Twin Towers went on to become a five-time NBA champion.
And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Tim Duncan. I'm not. But I'm saying as well, David Robinson deserves his flowers as well. He was an amazing player.
He's getting his flowers right now. He's in the Ghost tier list.
He was a good proto dynasty.
Yeah, he started the dynasty.
Let's put it this way. He was only good to help with San Antonio for the first time get over 60 wins in a season. That's his highlight before Duncan joined. Before Duncan and Popovich got into the picture.
Basil. Do you know what year David Robinson was drafted in?
89.
It was 87.
Okay, who cares?
It was first overall 87. I mean, we're talking about a guy. I just threw out some of the facts.
He won his first championship in 99.
Okay, Kareem didn't win his first championship till 94.
We're not talking about Kareem. We're talking about David Robinson.
I know, but I'm saying
you want to bring up when he's drafted. He won his first championship 12 years after he was drafted.
Well, that was 89. Yeah, it's 89. I just looked it up.
89. So we won his 10 years after he was drafted. Fact check.
I mean,
what does that have to do with him being great or good?
Technically, he was drafted in 87, but he didn't play until 89 because of the whole thing with the Navy and stuff. That's another story. But all I'm saying that the man was an amazing player. Me personally, I'm putting him in amazing because of the prototype of player he was for his era. Will be similar to the Joel Embiid, the Karl Anthony Towns of today's era.
Exactly, but when we're talking about the greatest of all times, he'd be a good GOAT. Now let's move on to this next person. I don't know who this person is.
That's George the Iceman Gerving.
I was gonna say, George screwing with us. Like
Eastern grad, George.
He's
Iceman?
your alumnus. He's your fellow.
No. Here.
How dare you?
But when they did the Iceman Day at Eastern, I was like, "Who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is." He literally shook my hand. Did you
actually do that?
No, he literally shook my hand. I was like, "Who are you?" And then
you didn't know who he was?
I didn't know who he was.
Oh my Lord!
Then I had to look it up on Wikipedia. I was like, "Oh, George."
Honestly, if you ask me, he's probably he's the best thing to come out of Eastern. He's the best thing to come out of Eastern.
Let me say.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Let me
no,
say.
He is. He is the best thing to come out of Eastern Michigan.
In professional sports, not the best thing to come out of Eastern. Not the best thing to come out of Eastern. Best professional sports player that came out of Eastern, excluding Charlie Batch. And some other linesmen who came from.
It's Iceman.
Probably doing pretty damn good for himself right now.
Mm-hmm.
Really damn good. I just talked to him 2 days ago.
Right, they're all doing good. It's George Gervin.
Let me say this: George Gervin, for the younger kids who are listening to this, George Gervin was.
Wait, hold on. Younger kids, including Kris. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Including me.
I want to listen to this. Go ahead.
George Gervin was the Kevin Durant of his era with how efficiently he was able to score the basketball and how almost unfair that he was able to score the basketball. He was the guy who invented the finger roll, which everybody basically uses nowadays. He was one of those guys that just made the game graceful. And not only that, but he was once a mentor to some really good guy on this list, kind of by the name of Michael Jordan and such. He was a 9-time NBA All-Star, a 7-time member of the All NBA team. He's a former 4-time, scoring champion, leading the league in scoring, during the time where it was very competitive in the league and such. The man literally has done it all. It would have been great if he won a championship, but it is what it is and such.
Right.
But when you average 25 points for your career and you do it in a plethora of ways and you change how scoring is in the league, you're pretty damn amazing. Mm-hmm. You're pretty damn amazing, if you ask me.
No. For the arguments for the tier list, when I put this out, if you have not won a championship, you will be at the end of the tier. So you're still in God tier. You're still one of the great gods of all time, or amazing, or good, or average, or all right now. But you'll be at the end.
Here's another thing that should help you hype up George. He's also a Detroiter. He's a Detroiter.
Oh man,
he's loving the guy.
Yes.
I looked it up on Wikipedia. I was like, wait a minute, he's from Detroit.
Yeah, he went to King.
Yeah.
I did not know any of this stuff until when was Iceman Day? Last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
I was like, wait, who is this?
It was this
school year. Yeah, this school year. So I was like, wait, who is this person? He shook my hand. I was like, hey, how's it going?
You wanted to go to that so bad.
I was like, wait, who was the guy? I had to look him up.
My ass had to work.
Oh man. Well, thank you, George Gervin, for changing the NBA. You're an amazing.
He also single-handedly did carry us to the NCAA tournament.
True.
When EMU
was in the tournament.
Literally.
Yeah. We were actually
EMU was in March Madness?
Yeah, we were in March Madness just because of him.
No, man.
Just because of him.
This is great. This is a great history lesson.
Man,
I'm so happy.
Even we could teach Kris something.
No, I mean, I already knew about this.
I just don't know how he didn't know any of this.
I
learned this. I learned this on Wikipedia. Literally the day when I shook his hand, not on this show right now.
Shoot, I was learning this in junior high.
Where were you learning this in junior high? Who taught you this in junior high? Wikipedia?
No. NBA Street 2.
NBA Street.
My Lord.
Anyway, moving on to anything's possible. I'm not going to scream. Anything's possible. Kevin Garnett, KG, from when we're talking about GOAT status, from the Boston Celtics.
All right, I want to go last with this one.
I'll
let y'all get some shine.
He won one championship, right?
Yes, he did.
With the 08 Boston Celtics over the Lakers.
They killed him.
Yeah, they dominated. KG deserves to be, when it comes to overall impact of the game, he should be in good. He's a good GOAT. He shouldn't be in gotcha because, I mean, before 08, he was nobody. I mean, we knew he was somebody. He was killing it for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But when he came to Boston, it was like, okay, here it's time. But then I think Boston should have won 08, of course. 09, they had some injuries and stuff. 10, they should have won against the Lakers. And I do think in 11, they should have beat LeBron James to go to the finals. With the talent they had on that team.
I mean, yeah, they could have. I mean, knowing that LeBron was going to be putting up 7 points in the finals game, but we're not going to talk about that and such.
No, he put up 7 points in the finals game because Dallas understood how we played.
They put the clamps on him.
It's called the LeBron rules.
They put the clamps on him.
They sure did.
But the old ass Sean Marion, who I don't know if it's still
we're gonna get to Sean Marion on another episode, and we're gonna talk about his teammate in a few persons in a few minutes. But KG, I think should be in good. Below Allen Iverson.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Because of actually, Allen Iverson never won a championship, so he's above Charles Barkley and Allen Iverson. Like I said, when we do these tier lists, if you didn't win a championship, you're at the end of the tier. So he's above Charles Barkley and Allen Iverson. Not better than David Robinson. Definitely not better than Dwayne Wade. You kidding me? Kidding me? Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Wade. Who's in a rap song?
Yeah.
Jesus had LeBron.
Yeah.
Jay-Z had Dwayne Wade, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
All right. You don't hear a song talk about KG. Unless they talk about kilograms.
You know, K. Well, go ahead, Basil. Go ahead, Basil. I want to get my scouts.
Go ahead. I want Kris to bubble up.
No. Go ahead, Basil. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, mind you, when KG did win, he had to play with a Paul Pierce, which I would argue.
Don't say it.
No, I would argue Paul Pierce at that time was not as good as he was in the early 2000s. So he was already on.
What?
I would argue that Paul Pierce was already starting to decline.
Oh my Lord!
In the late 2000s.
He's really talking about this on this show.
What?
Look, Paul Pierce was my number one dude in the early NBA games. Okay.
Dude, I had
in the NBA games or the actual NBA, because we're talking about actual physical on live TV, TNT at 7 o'clock on Tuesday.
That too. I am talking about. Yeah, I thought Paul Pierce was as an independent skill level. I thought he was better when he was younger.
Goodness gracious!
By the time they finally got Kevin Garnett and
this dude right here.
All right.
Now, honestly, if you ask me of that same time, I feel like Kevin Garnett was just one of the linchpins that was kind of holding the team together.
He was.
The other one being
and Ray Allen.
Ray Allen was the other one. Because
wait, hold on. I gotta say his name because of Shaq. Kendrick Perkins,
my main man,
Texas finest,
literally.
who Detroit could have drafted in the 2003 draft, but they didn't because they drafted Darko Milicic. Go ahead.
Every time.
Every time.
You know what? That's what. You know what, Kris? I should get you a Robert Ory jersey for
I just told you, don't mention that name on this podcast ever again. And if you get me a jersey for that, if you get me that jersey for Father's Day, I will never talk to you again. I can't even talk straight because I don't know what I would do if you got me that damn jersey.
Bird. In the name of Revenge of the Sixth for tomorrow, do it.
Wait, we gotta watch it. We gotta watch Star Wars. I like that. Return of the Sixth. I like it.
You never heard.
Now we got 2 days of Star Wars.
You've never heard Revenge of the Sixth?
No.
Kevin Garnett. When we look at what the league is right now, especially with power forwards with the play that is right now, Kevin Garnett was really one of the architects of how the league is right now. With the Joel Embiid, with the Giannis, of all these athletic big men who are able to have a jump shot from 15, be able to dominate on the low post, and also be a viable scoring option as well. KG was one of the main architects of that. We're talking about a guy, a 15-time All-Star, an NBA MVP.
This nigga looking at Wikipedia.
No, shut up. You are too. We're talking about a guy.
I don't have any Wikipedia over here right now. I just know stats. I just know stats for what I know.
Some of these kinds I had to look up and such. Well, some of them I know pretty well, like pretty damn well and such. But I do know KG is one of 5 people. Yeah, one of 5 people in the history of the league to win both NBA MVP and Defensive Player of the Year as well as such. We're talking about the first guy who was drafted into the league out of high school since Moses Malone did it, and has been a constant professional and one of the best trash talkers in the history of the league. So KG, the big ticket, absolutely lived up to the moniker.
He was called the big ticket.
He absolutely lived up to the moniker. And for that, I love KG, but
his impact on the game wasn't really.
But I would say in good above David Robinson. I would say that.
That's the spirit, Kris.
Good.
Also, hold on. I just realized something. Did you try saying that Kendrick Perkins was a big part of what we're like part of the key of?
Yeah, and Rajon Rondo.
Of that team, yes.
Rondo would be a bigger.
That was a starting lineup. Yeah, Rajon Rondo, Kendrick Perkins, Pierce, Ray Allen, and KG.
Yeah,
that's the starting lineup. I would know because they beat the Pistons.
To me, though, Kendrick, that's starting 5. I thought Perkins was the weakest.
No,
what? He was dominant.
Yeah. No.
Perkins did not need to go on an average 20. He just needed to play defense and get some boards, get some blocks, which is what he did. It's that simple.
Then he won a championship. He almost won 2.
Exactly. It's that. It's
but he did win another MVP, the Shaq to the Fool MVP.
The most prestigious one of them all.
Kendrick Perkins, when he passed the ball back to Kobe on a behind the back pass.
It was so funny. Zach Nicholson wasn't even laughing. That's how bad it was.
He said, "Hey, I got you. Here we go." Oh shit, that's Kobe.
You know, the crazy thing about KG. This lets you know how crazy KG was. KG once sent and it was like during Tim Duncan and such. KG once sent a happy Mother's. Damn, I feel bad saying it during Mother's Day, like during this time.
Ahead.
KG once sent a Mother's Day card to Tim Duncan, but his mom had passed away, I think, the year before that, and he knew that.
That's messed up.
That's so fucked
That's
up.
messed up. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to someone who will be the GOAT in about 5 to 10 years, looking back on his career. Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. 3-time champ.
Wardell Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
The long-range bomber. I feel like he should just be at the bottom of God tier just alone.
Yeah.
He's still playing. I feel like he's still God tier.
He's still the face of the Golden State Warriors ever since he got drafted.
Curry honestly still has, if we're being honest, another maybe 5 to 6 really good years left in him. Yeah. Like really good years.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say for overall influence on the league and changing the game.
Yeah, he's up there. You have to say it. You can't say
he's better than LeBron.
You can't say Don't say
he's better than LeBron.
Don't say
No, I was saying that I don't want to say above Hakeem, because Hakeem, next to Shaq, is probably the greatest center to ever play the game. But Steph, without question, is the greatest shooter to ever play the game. That is no debate.
Hold on, I just noticed the order here. Why do we have Chamberlain not at the very front?
Because it's Wilt Chamberlain.
Because it's Wilt Chamberlain, and
we're talking about the guy that scored the most points in one game and scored the most women in one career.
And doesn't matter. And what else?
20,000 women. Give the dude some credit.
We have Shaquille O'Neal.
What does that have to do with being on the basketball court?
We're talking about the basketball court. We're not talking about his stuff outside the back. His vices outside.
What I'm saying, the dude had game.
He did. He had game. He scored 100 points.
And 20,000 women. What I'm saying is he knew how to put up numbers everywhere he went.
Anyway, we're going to talk about other numbers. I don't know who this guy is because he doesn't have his team name on his jersey.
It's freaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man.
I was like,
It's Hakeem. It's fucking Hakeem. We'll put him in God's here.
Thank you.
Shoot.
If they had if they had the Lakers thing, I'd be like, okay, that's Hakeem.
I don't even have you don't even have to do that. All you have to do is just picture him in a pilot's outfit, and immediately you recognize him from Airplane.
Lou Alcindor.
Shut up! Don't say Lou Alcindor. Don't say his name like that. He's not. That was his Milwaukee Bucks championship name. We're talking about the Lakers.
Well, he's won a lot of them.
We're talking about the Lakers.
Well, we got not to bust.
Anyway, we're gonna talk about another great, the logo. We gotta talk about this man right here.
I know who he is.
Who is this guy again, Kris?
It's
the person on the NBA.
It's Jerry West.
Jerry West. Now, all right, now
he's not the original Mr. Clutch. I found out.
I'm putting him in all right now.
Just
because he's the logo. Just because he's the logo.
Kris, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, I would say he's the top of amazing.
It works.
I wouldn't say God tier. Looking back on his career, he changed the Lakers. He was one of the dominant Lakers back in his time. If you compare that to now, Kobe could beat his ass. That could beat his ass.
If
hell, Lonzo Ball when he was on the Lakers
could beat his ass.
Could beat Jerry West. Stop it. Hold on. Kyle Kuzma could beat Jerry West.
No, okay. Now you're gonna say one of the ball triplets can do it.
No, I said Lonzo Ball could beat him.
Get out of here.
You know the crazy thing is, if I'm actually correct, I think Jerry West is the only player in NBA history to be awarded Finals MVP despite being on the losing team. If I'm right, I think.
And on that's why he's an amazing, and not God.
I think the fact that I can see why it's in a but see, many people probably think of Jerry West more so for his executive role over what he did as a player. Which is crazy to think about, because as an executive, He's won like 8 championships. He's won more.
He's one of the
I
best
never knew he did
executives of all time.
executive stuff. I only knew he was a player and a coach. That was it.
No, he's one of Lakers executives. He's one of the best executives of all time.
Before he was like, "Hey man, look, fuck y'all, I'm gonna go to Clippers." Which is literally
I'm trying to get another championship. Which, I don't know. All right, we're gonna talk about the next thing in a moment.
Oh, so
Anyway,
we're
we're gonna talk about our next person in the list. And while we talk about that, I'll be getting my food in a second. So Kris and Basil can talk about Scottie Pippen because I don't want to talk about Scottie Pippen. Go ahead, y'all.
Lordy. Where do I start?
Okay, here's how I would start it. But I know you're not too big. Well, hold on, I forget. Are you kind of familiar with anime or no?
Okay, what does that have to do with basketball?
What I was gonna say was he's not God tier, but he's still good on the level of like if you had to think of like Dragon Ball Z characters, he's like the Piccolo of the Bulls.
Okay, did Piccolo,
like the moment?
Okay, was Piccolo ever acknowledged other than being a super Namek and other than one of those people who whenever a supervillain would ever come by and would get the business laid on him and such, what else did you really think about with Piccolo?
Okay, you're right. Maybe that's more of a Dennis Rodman thing.
You're basically saying that with Piccolo and such, that Piccolo, he would never be on Goku's level, with the exception of that one time in Dragon Ball.
Why are we talking about Dragon Ball Z? Hold up. I leave the show for 2 seconds.
Basil started it.
And we talk about Dragon Ball Z. What's supposed to be talking about?
I said
we're talking about Scottie Pippen.
I said Scottie Pippen was like the Piccolo of
the Bulls team. We're not doing those kind of comparisons on this show.
No, Basil did.
I did. Because I was trying to figure out like where exactly, because I don't know where exactly it would translate onto for the list.
It won't.
That's why I was going to have Kris help me out here. Like
I would say it was Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen, I know that the man has 6 championships. I get that. But Scottie Pippen goes in good below Charles Barkley.
Nope, he's average to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why do you say average?
Because of Scottie Pippen.
Oh, not because he beat the Pistons or anything, just because he's Scottie Pippen.
No. It was Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls that beat the Pistons.
No, Scottie Pippen was basically the oldest of the Chicago Bulls. Anybody come to see you? Anybody come to see you, Otis?
No.
That's
anybody come to see you, Pippen?
I got it. Hey, what type of food you got over there, brother? What type of food is that? Let me take a look at that.
Pizza.
Oh, from where?
The only thing open at midnight. Happy's.
Yeah, good point.
Good Happy's pizza. When you're real
that's one thing
for some yummy food.
When I have Happy's, that's the one thing I do not feel afterwards. No, honestly.
Eat happy.
Literally.
I would say the real Otis of the Bulls team back then was Horace Grant.
It was Scottie Pippen.
It was definitely
Horace Grant.
No, it's definitely Scottie Pippen.
It's Scottie Pippen. That's no debate. I got nothing to say about that. Scottie Pippen.
The fact that this man wrote a book and no one read it, it's kind
multiple.
Of
he wrote a book and all that, but how you gonna dish your own homie in the media over these years, man? Like, come on, man. How you gonna do that to him?
I'm gonna say that Michael Jordan's not even the best player of all time. I was like, what? Your teammate? Anyway, we're gonna move on to Kevin Durant.
The snake.
Don't
screw it. You're right. He deserves to be average.
Whoa! No.
Kris brought up a good point. I forgot all about that.
Who should be average?
Scottie Pippen. After you brought up how he's like, Jordan's not even that good. I'd be like,
Yeah, he should be average.
I forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to Golden State's Kevin Durant.
AKA Brooklyn
nowadays he's the Brooklyn Nets Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Shout out to Malik.
Shout out to Malik and Ben Simmons. Anyway.
Wait, who?
Ben Simmons.
Who?
He's won 2 championships with the Golden State Warriors. Rightfully so.
Okay. Is it okay for me to say that I think Golden State Warriors Kevin Durant is the best Kevin Durant?
Yeah, we can say that.
Okay.
I mean, you can.
No, you have to. He is the best Kevin Durant we've seen. Dominant, even better than we knew the Golden State Warriors back then as Kevin Durant's team, not Steph Curry's team when he was on the Golden State Warriors. Honestly.
Shoot, Kevin Durant goes all the way back to.
It goes back to OKC in the Supersonics, yes, but he didn't become a champion until Golden State.
Right.
Yeah, but the Warriors are better off without him.
Yeah, but he won 2 championships.
I don't know about that.
I am sure about that. They're better off.
He won
2 championships with him.
They won 2 championships.
He was good. He was good with the rotation help that they had.
Yeah, because when Kevin Durant went in, Steph Curry didn't have to do that much.
Yeah, but yeah. I'm just saying you still left your homies high and dry.
No, he didn't. He went to go win a championship. That's not winning high and dry. It's professional sports.
And left for the team that beat you.
No,
it doesn't matter. You can blame for that sort of attitude. You can blame LeBron for that.
You can blame LeBron. You can even blame. You can even blame Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I'm not going to say I blame LeBron because in that case, when LeBron first left, the team had no future, 0 future.
So did OKC. They had no future.
Yeah. They were 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals. All they had to do was
but you had a problem. You had Westbrook on the team. So any team with Westbrook ain't gonna win shit.
And Harden was overrated.
Harden was in, and we're seeing it right now. He's overrated. He's a good shooter, but when it comes to big time with the bright lights, he can't win a championship.
I agree with that, but my thing is even during that 2016 Thunder team, which in my opinion was their best chance to actually make it to the championship that year. And I think if they would have made the championship, I think they could have took Cleveland to maybe 6 or 7 games. I really do believe that. With how that roster was at that time and stuff. But
you're right.
Kevin Durant, and I said it before, George Gervin was Kevin Durant before Kevin Durant. But Kevin Durant, when it's all said and done, when his career is over, I think he's going to end up being top 10 all-time leading scorers to play the game because the guy is so damn versatile.
He's too damn tall.
And too damn tall. He's basically is unguardable with his shot. He can put up 25 or 30 in his sleep.
Unless you're the Boston Celtics. Go ahead.
And it's okay, yeah, we're gonna get that too and stuff. But hey, on thing that the man's literally been a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, a constant professional, a meme factory online. He really is. But as far as playing on the basketball court, the man is an offensive juggernaut. Mm-hmm. So for me, he goes God tier.
So speaking of comparison,
but not over Curry.
So speaking of comparisons that we've been doing, something just popped in my head. Excluding the fact that Kevin Durant has won championships, would you say that he is like the more modern day version of Carmelo Anthony, or would you say more?
No, absolutely not.
I won't say Carmelo Anthony at all.
Absolutely not.
Carmelo Anthony is nowhere near GOAT status in anything.
I agree with that. I don't think Carmelo even made it to the Hall of Fame.
No, he's going to make it to the Hall of Fame.
No, I feel like he will go to the Hall of Fame.
He's going to go to the Hall of Fame because anybody can go to the Hall of Fame. But
I would argue he's first round though.
Yeah, first round. He's going to be first round.
But Kevin Durant and Carmelo, there's Kevin Durant. That's like
you can't compare Kevin Durant to Carmelo Anthony.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
You can't do it. Now, granted, like honestly, you just can't.
You can say that's insult to the game of basketball, right there.
For some odd reason, I get.
Wait. You said
I get mellow vibes
wait,
from him though.
Wait, excuse me, one quick second. You said Darko Milicic like 7 times during this recording.
First of all, Darko actually happened in the NBA. I've never seen. First of all, Carmelo Anthony was drafted in the same class as Darko Milicic, and Darko won that first year. He won that year. I'm still waiting for Carmelo Anthony's first championship.
I mean, shit, I could have won a championship.
That's why I said, excluding the fact that Durant actually won championships.
I'm
not saying that. I'm not saying that. Kris brought up Darko Milicic, so I'm gonna fight this fight. Darko Milicic won a championship.
Coachability and like how they seem to handle themselves. I feel like
but on
Durant's like in the same level.
Yeah, but take coaching honestly. I'm talking about what do you do with the ball in your hand on the basketball court? What have you done with it? And Kevin Durant kills Carmelo Anthony in every single category, point blank, period.
So would you say Westbrook is more of a mellow?
No, hell no.
Wait, hold on. So am I getting it? So am I correct to say that you guys think Carmelo Anthony is not good?
And when I say he's not good, he's not at the caliber of Kevin Durant.
Right. That's what we're saying. Both of them, we're getting to
sure, they're great basketball players, but Kevin Durant has shown day in, day out, night after night, that he's a better player when the lights are on bright than Carmelo Anthony.
And a more consistent player, too.
Carmelo Anthony, the last time I remember Carmelo Anthony being relevant was... Anyway, next we're going to talk about the Utah Jazz.
Not even the next year.
We're going to talk about Carmelo.
Damn, man.
We're going to talk about Carmelo in 2004 when they went against the Detroit Pistons and got mollywopped. Against Ben Wallace. What? Tayshaun Prince.
What?
Rasheed Wallace.
What?
Chauncey Billups.
What?
Rip Hamilton.
What?
Antonio McDyess. I'm playing.
What?
Wait,
Hey,
hold on. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Darko Milicic and the Detroit Pistons.
Wait, Kris. Hey, what about this? Lindsey Hunter?
Not Lindsey Hunter.
Hey, what? Chucky Atkins?
Wait. Stuckey, remember Stuckey?
Ronnie Stuckey?
Ronnie Stuckey, yeah.
He went on the team at that time.
It don't matter.
I just don't know why you brought up 04 for.
You have to bring up 04 for Karl Malone. He went to Lakers.
It was his last year.
He wanted to win a championship, but Detroit was like, not today.
We whooped that ass, man.
He was basically the old man that wanted to go on the glory train. So he's like,
okay, so was Rick Fox. So was Rick Fox. Remember, he was on that team.
That's actually a good comparison. He's just a
before he went to bad BET movies. Rick Fox.
Wait. Hey, Kris. Hey, I got a better name. Mehmet Okur.
Oh my God, not Mehmet. I forgot about Mehmet Okur. He was at the 15-year anniversary.
Let it be no Mehmet.
I was like, Mehmet Okur.
Let it be no Mehmet Okur.
Don't know the name.
Than Carmelo Anthony. That is a fact.
Put
respect on his name.
Who? What happened?
Let it be known, Mehmet Okur has more championships than Carmelo Anthony. That is a fact.
Put it up there, yep.
And you know who else? Jeremy Lin has more chips than Carmelo Anthony. Let that be known. That is a fact.
How?
He was on the Raptors.
Yes, he was on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Lin was still playing at the time?
Yeah, he played. He played in game 3 or something like that.
I thought after the Knicks, he went back to China.
No,
he stayed in the league.
He bounced around. No, he was with Brooklyn for a minute, then Charlotte, and then Atlanta for a minute and such.
And then they went to Toronto.
Exactly.
And then Kawhi and Danny Green went to Toronto. Then they won the championship.
I know the crazy thing is Carmelo was the reason why Lin was off the team and the Knicks in the first place. And look how Karma strikes, y'all. Look at Karma.
Speaking of championship chasing, Carmelo.
Okay, I'm gonna say he's the only player I'm gonna say this for. Carmelo isn't all right now below Clyde Drexler.
I say average below Scottie Pippen.
I know he's the NBA. I know he's the second all time. Wait, is he? Wait, no, I think he's third now because I think LeBron just passed him. Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah. Well, he's like top 5 point scorer ever scored in the league, but he was average. He was average.
He was average to me too.
They were among consistency and stuff. I know he don't know how to I don't know. He's a scumbag off the court. I'll just say that. But on the court, he was average. Yeah. Which by the way, one of his it seems like 27 million kids at this point. I want to say it was Cheryl Lord who played for the Shot for a while.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the WNBA. The season starts this week.
Yeah. I'm not gonna share a story as far as how he got a 15-year-old girl pregnant in his hometown.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to speaking about getting people pregnant and the consequences of sex. Magic Johnson.
Kris.
Magic.
Hey,
Irvin Magic Johnson.
Dude.
A nice way to change the subject.
I had to say that because it was so funny.
Did anyone watch that Luka versus Magic what if thing that was like 3 minutes long?
No.
Because
Magic will whoop that ass.
Easily.
Which he ended up doing.
I mean,
Luka shouldn't even be in anybody's conversation as best player ever.
No.
Not until he wins something, because he's flashy. He got the shot. He's got it. He's like a modern day Dirk. He's a modern day Dirk. I would say that.
The money be well like water. It really do.
But until he gets great teammates, he's not going to win.
Yeah,
I think he should be able to go. He should go to either Atlanta.
Okay. Now wait. Oh,
maybe he'd be a good on the Utah team.
But I mean,
I'm trying to keep him in the West. I'm not trying to. I mean, I want to keep him in the West. So maybe a Utah, maybe a good Phoenix, maybe Sacramento. He might bring Sacramento back to the promised land. You never know.
The last time Sacramento were in the promised land was
even close to the promised land. It was early 2000s when the Kings were like in like people's like, you know.
The last time the Kings were even relevant, the iPhone wasn't even invented yet.
Okay. Last time the Pistons were relevant, the iPhone was still in the 3GS. Remember 3GS?
No.
Remember the 3GS?
We were in the playoffs a few years ago. Okay, so we were.
No, relevant. I said relevant. Like okay, the Pistons were in the playoffs, but we got swept.
Okay.
Last time we were in the playoffs, so it actually meant something was 08.
Yeah, because we made an Eastern Conference championship that year.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We had the iPhone 3GS.
And I'm agreeing with you.
No, you was like, no, we were in the playoffs in 2018. Shut up. No one cares about that. No one cares about Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin should not even be in this list. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it right now. You can't dunk in Detroit, and then when your first game in Brooklyn, you slammed. Magic Johnson is going into God's.
It just goes to show that the Pistons is like kryptonite for basketball players nowadays. No, just not. Like being on the Lions.
No, it's not.
Okay,
you just need a great good 5 right there. Maybe a 6 man.
I think that
no stars. Just great, a good 5.
I think that guy Terry kind of need to be adjusted a little bit.
How?
I would put Magic, Kareem, and Hakeem ahead of Will Chamberlain.
No, Will Chamberlain's up there because he has a 100 point game.
Yeah, but what else?
You're a goat. You've got 100 points. Before a 3-point line, you're a goat.
But what else?
Exactly. It doesn't matter. You're 100 points before a 3-point line.
Okay, well, at least the King. Can we at least do that?
The Hakeem Olajuwon, yeah, but he's not better than like Abdul-Jabbar. What?
I was saying Magic, then Kareem, then Hakeem, and then Wilt.
Nope. It's staying like this. Well, who's this guy? Who's next?
This might be the only one I get stumped on. I want to say.
Is it Wilkins?
Wait, what?
No, that's never mind.
That is not Dominic.
Never mind. Fuck what I just said.
I want to say it's Moses Malone.
Moses Malone, okay, average. All right, next.
Whoa. Wait, time out, sir. Amazing.
Okay, yeah, that actually might be
amazing ahead of Oscar Robertson.
Okay, that's fair.
Amazing ahead.
All right, now we're gonna go to the GOAT.
No,
LeBron.
Wait. You saying the like THE?
When his career's said and done, he's gonna be the GOAT.
He's not.
He's gonna be the GOAT. He's gonna be top. He's gonna be the top of every stats chart.
He is never gonna pass Kareem for all-time points.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. He's almost there. He's literally there.
He's got about a good maybe 2 or 3 years left.
Right.
Which is very doable.
With this Lakers team, where he's about to get rid of players, he's going to be the best player on the team for the next 2 years if he's not injured.
He's going to be putting up like maybe 28 or 30 a game easily with that lineup. Easily. Because Street Clothes is injured. Can't ever stay healthy. So
he's not better than Magic yet when it comes to championships.
I agree.
He's not better than Bill Russell. He's definitely not better than Shaq.
I would say put him.
I would say he's better than I say he's better than Wilt.
I'll agree with that. I think that's a perfect spot. Because
LeBron has 12, 13, here's 4 championships because he won with Cleveland.
4.
So 4.
But I think the more impressive thing is that winning 3 different championships with 3 different teams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about that, but he has 4 championships. So
that last one was just given to him.
It was.
I mean, no, the Ray Allen, the worst for the first one with the Heat, that one was given to him. Ray Allen saved.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't given to him. Given to him means it was easy. Ray Allen saved his career, so that was not given to him.
I agree.
No, you were just not agreeing with it.
The refs basically are like, Lakers, just take it. Come on, take it.
The 2020 championship has an asterisk next to it forever.
Man, 2020 just altogether was just a bullshit.
Yeah, it was BS. But
you had World War III, Part 1. You had the Killer Hornets.
Australian fire, COVIDs.
Yeah.
You had 3/4 of Australia on fire.
We lost Kobe and we lost Chadwick Boseman that year, among others.
See, that's how I know the refs were like, we gotta do it for Kobe.
No, as soon as he died, I was like, yeah, the Lakers won the championship this year. Just forget about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to another Pistons game because I know we're not going to make it.
No, because you had better things to do anyways during that year.
No, I mean, I'm just saying it. And on January 25th, 2020,
man,
I was like, okay, we're not doing anything this year.
I was literally sitting at it. I was trying to enjoy lunch at a Chili's when I first heard that Kobe died. I was like, fuck. I
was coming home from one of my indoor soccer games. And
Khalil was
like, "Yo, Kobe died." I was like, "You lying? You playing?"
Exactly.
And then I looked on TMZ. I'm like, "Oh shit, he might be dead."
my
dead.
mom.
I thought dead, and then not only that, but when everybody thought that,
when Rick Fox,
it was Rick Fox.
Everybody was cheering. I was like, "Wait a minute, that's still not good. That's Rick Fox."
I swear, man. I was like,
"Yes, it's Rick Fox and not Kobe." I was like, "Wait a minute."
I'm like,
pump the brakes. Remember the movie Meet the Browns?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Rick Fox. That was the love interest for Angela Bassett.
You're right.
That's Rick Fox.
I ain't watching that in a minute, but I'll say LeBron's placement. I think that's pretty good. I mean, what more can be said that has not already been said already?
Right. Speaking of that,
I mean,
you mean besides the fact that Steph Curry, by the time of his career, he's already gonna pass LeBron?
No, he's not.
I've already like done some number crunching. He's
number crunching. Let me see this calculator. Let me see this calculator. Sure, Steph Curry has the most 3-pointers of all time. He can definitely keep that.
You do.
He can definitely keep that.
I don't think
you do realize that those 3 points.
Yeah, they add up, but it's not gonna be the best.
Career.
He's still not the best points of all time. Next to
I feel like he will be getting up there.
Not if he ends his career. Okay.
Well, he better not end his career then.
You never know. You never know. Mental health is amazing nowadays.
Really
AKA Ben Simmons.
Let's keep it.
I don't want to play anymore. Anyway, speaking of someone who
Ben
never
Simmons
gave up,
just sucks anyway, though.
speaking of someone
That's
who
a
never
stu-
gave up and always stayed resilient to his own and stayed loyal to his own team, Dallas Mavericks own. Shout out to Mark Cuban. Let me hold $1 billion. Dirk Nowitzki.
Straight up.
Mr. Like Mike himself, who
Mr.
wanted
Like
an
Mike.
autograph from a little Bow Wow.
A man who was literally had arguably one of the most unstoppable shots in the history of the league. That damn post fadeaway on one leg that's damn near unblockable. With the
Everybody was like, damn it, he shot me again.
And here's the thing, when you shot it, you knew it was going in.
Exactly. I was like, that's 2 points
like,
right there.
It's like, why you even try to shoot? Like, why you try to block that? You can't block that.
Can't block it.
We're talking about a guy who straight up the 2011 Mavs team that won a chip that year.
It was the Like Mike cast. Literally the Like Mike cast.
Literally. But old ass Sean Marion on the team, who I forgot was still in the league.
Jason Kidd. Remember Jason Kidd?
Jason Kidd, freaking Jason Terry.
I forgot Jason Terry was on that team.
Freaking JJ Barrera, the dude who got the flying forearm from Andrew Bynum in midair during that playoff series. He's like, man, get the out of here. So him with the flying forearm.
But yeah, Dirk demands respect.
Dirk goes in amazing.
He goes in amazing.
Amazing. Okay, now this is gonna be tricky. I'll say amazing below Moses. Amazing below Moses Malone. I would say that.
Okay.
And the only reason why I said it, because Dirk wasn't. I mean, you don't really think of Dirk like a really good like post defender. You don't really think about that. But as far as like scoring big men and people leading their team, oh yeah, you think about Dirk. Dude,
Dirk was in here. Dirk was that man.
Dirk was a fucking juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to the Mavericks, all I could think about is Dirk anyway. So
that's the thing. When you think about a franchise, you think of like that's the first thing you think about. You don't think about no Steve Nash. Respect to him. You think about Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
Dirk. Like
I forgot they were on
it
the
just
same
goes
team.
to show how much money Cuban loved to spend on him.
He knew who was the one.
Exactly.
That's Dirk. He could easily.
Well, no, I think it just goes to show. It just goes to show that he was the one good deal that come out of Dallas.
Hey, and until Luka wins a championship in Dallas.
I mean, honestly, that trade I would say is one of the most like the trade between Luka and Trae Young that night when they both got drafted and they both got switch teams and such. As of right now, one of the most balanced trades in the league's history right now. Considering what's happened with both teams ever since, they're both friends that they got their guys.
Yeah.
They got their guys like for the next at least 10 years, at least the face of the franchise for the next X amount of years. So I say it's turned out.
Well, speaking of faces of franchises, we have 4 of the last people in this tier list who were the faces of their prospective franchises. Now, first we have. We're gonna go through all the histories. Okay, we're not gonna say God tier yet because they're all in God tier. All these are gonna go in God tier. But first, we're gonna talk about Tim Duncan,
the big fundamental
from the territory of the Virgin Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Five-time NBA champion of the San Antonio Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, and Greg Popovich. With Tony Parker, Ginobili. Wait a minute, hold on. Ginobili! And in later years, Kawhi Leonard.
Wait. He had another teammate during that 03 team. It was somebody who. No.
It was Dave. We're gonna leave it there. It was David Robinson. Okay, all right. We're not gonna talk about the other guy that we're not supposed to talk about on this show.
He came up clutch. He was always clutch.
All right. We're gonna put Tim Duncan in God tier.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, the man. I mean, what more can you say? As the greatest power forward to play the game of basketball, that's a fact. And not number one, the top 10 greatest players to ever play the game of basketball. Pretty crazy for a guy who almost went for swimming and didn't pick up the game of basketball. I think until he was like 13 or 14, which is late for basketball.
Junior high.
I mean, that's like super duper late and such. But I mean, the guy is like, forget his play on the court. Like the way the man carried himself, he wasn't really that flashy, but he would drop 30 on you. He was the face of the franchise, the constant winner, the leader, the only dude in I think league history to win in 3 different decades.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 different decades.
Right.
The 99 championship, then the
2000s, and then the 2010s. Yep, he did.
Yeah, I mean, like the man literally has done everything, and his career, like I said, you can honestly say it's a top 10 NBA player of all time, and that's freaking saying something. So
he was gonna take up swimming.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was born in the Virgin Islands, and his family wanted him to swim.
I can't picture him as a swimmer.
I mean, you can't imagine any of these players as swimmers or soccer players like Kobe. Kobe was a soccer player before he was a basketball player.
Exactly. And but yeah, like honestly, I was
in Philly.
No, he was in Italy.
Yeah, but I wasn't. Tim Duncan. I miss watching him play. Yes, but honestly, the man had such a great career, and he knew it was over. So if anything, Tim Duncan he gives a lot of respect for me, man, right. Just for how he played the game.
Yeah. Speaking of respect and earning, because basketball is actually known nowadays, even back when he played, as a black sport. Now, this brother, I'm calling him a brother because Larry Bird, this brother here, got the respect of all Negroes across America and across and around the world.
From French Lick,
and to say that I'm living in right now, Indiana.
Bump that. Anyway, when he played for Boston in Massachusetts at the Garden. Okay. He was putting up numbers over the greats.
Hell, even when he was back in Indiana, he was putting up numbers.
We're not talking about Indiana. We're talking about NBA. We're talking about Boston.
No. You have to bring up, if you're going to talk about him and Magic,
Boston,
you got to go back to college.
I wasn't even talking about Magic. I don't care about Magic. We talked about Magic already in the show.
We're talking
about Bird. We're talking about Larry Bird.
That's part of the whole beauty about it.
But we're not doing a 30 for 30. We're doing KrisCross Corner tier list.
I like that.
All right, we're doing the tier list. What Larry Bird did for the Celtics is definitely what you say was what Magic did for the Lakers at that time, because they were both in the same era.
They saved the league.
But they both made basketball exciting during the 80s.
They did. Well, we're not talking about Magic right now. We're talking about Larry Bird. This brother here. Larry Bird, one of the baddest players to play the game.
Literally.
And one hell of a shit talker, too.
I don't like saying this in front of my mom because she hated both teams, but I was a Larry Bird fan. I was not a Magic fan. And this is me saying this on the podcast in secret because everybody knows when it comes to sports, fuck Boston.
Everything?
Fuck everything. The Celtics, Patriots, Bruins, Revolution, Red Sox,
just the Patriots and the Bruins.
All their teams. Fuck them. They even had a freaking billboard that said, "Oh, we're so sad. We haven't had a championship in 72 days." Shut up, Boston. You're about to win a World Series in 2 days.
True.
Even the Revolution
too. Yes. Fuck Bruce Arena and all of them. And Robert Kraft. Fuck them.
Bro, what did he do to you?
It's Boston.
I get it.
Especially when you talk about the Red Wings versus Boston feud. Fuck them. Just fuck them.
Yeah.
Talk about the dirtiest players of hockey in the game, the Boston Bruins, against a very aggressive hockey team. Fuck Boston.
That's why I said, aside from the Patriots and the Bruins, what's wrong with Boston sports?
Basil, you don't understand. The Bruins suck.
They do.
No, I just said aside from the Bruins, And the Pats. What's wrong with Boston sports?
Fuck Boston Celtics too. Because they freaking ran up the scores. No,
you gotta like the Red Sox.
No, we don't like the Red Sox. No,
there's nothing wrong with the Revolution.
There's everything wrong with the Revolution.
Everything's wrong with it. What you mean? Did you not see our MLS team tier rankings last week?
No, I didn't.
I haven't posted that yet. I haven't posted it yet.
Oh, please do.
I want to be on that. Can we redo it so I can get my perspective?
No,
well, it's going to be the same list.
No, it's not. It might be different because of Basil. It might be different. So we might have but I thought it was it was the history. It was the history of the teams. But fuck Boston, okay. But anyway, Larry Bird deserves to be in the God tier list.
And
above Kevin Durant, of course.
Let me say this right now. And here's the ultimate case for Larry Bird. Is y'all ready? Larry Bird, out of every name, all these great legends of the game on this list, he's the only person in the history of the NBA to be named Rookie of the Year, League MVP, Finals MVP, All-Star MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year. The only person in the history of the game to win all of those.
I call shenanigans.
Okay.
I don't understand the Executive of the Year. How the hell do they rank that? But everything else, yeah, I could agree.
The Pacers in 2000, right?
2014, I think.
Oh, 2014, that late? Oh, damn.
No, what I'm saying is how do they know which executive? Like, how do they rank executives?
I was 2 years old, 2012. I was 2 years old.
How much they do for the league? I mean, how much they do for that particular franchise? That's how they rank them.
Exactly. Yeah, but Larry Bird, when you talk about when you think about the NBA in an absolute peak in the 80s, he's one of the first few names you think about outside of the next person who's coming up on the list. And other than
Michael Jordan.
Amazing.
Michael Jordan. Let me just say this. Let me do my argument first because
I want to hear this.
I love talking. I love talking about Michael Jordan. I love talking about Michael Jordan. In this case,
Thank you.
Michael Jordan, 6 finals. Never went to Game 7.
Never did.
6-6. Chicago is the perfect finals team of all time. 6-6. Never lost the finals because of this man, Michael Jordan, and some other people that one person we're not going to talk about on the show, and then another person, Steve Kerr.
Lord. Good grace.
So we're not going to talk about these people on the show.
This
However, we're going to talk about. I'm going to stay on Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was drafted in the 80s. Didn't do shit. He was skinny as this pencil right here. He tried to go to the finals, but guess who was in there? He had to go against Boston. He had to go against Philly. And then, of course, he had to go against the Detroit Pistons of the 80s. All right. So he wasn't getting close to any gold in the 80s. However, after 89 and 90, he was like, you know what? I ain't no bitch. He started lifting. He was like, okay, we need this person. We need this person. You got to do shit right. I got to do shit right. We got to get a better coach.
Ain't them sakes.
He was out here making moves. So in 91, he beat the Pistons. And he went to the finals against the Los Angeles Lakers and beat them.
Swept them
with the broom.
Be gone. I don't even know why you on the court. Why you?
That was the end of an era and the beginning of a new era right there.
It was.
That was basically the Stone Cold Stunner on Shawn Michaels in 1998, WrestleMania 14. That was the changing of the guards right there.
That's a good analogy, Kris.
That happened right there. See, I'm good with my analogies. Unlike some people who bring up Dragon Ball Z.
Basil brought it up, not me. Okay.
There's just I gotta brush up on my analogies.
Oh my!
It was the first thing that popped in my mind when I thought of the 90s Bulls.
My Lord.
Michael Jordan's obviously Goku. But it was like, okay,
Dude,
who's
No,
Brown?
you gotta do it like the Temptations. He's Otis. He's Otis.
Basil, understand.
I'm not that skilled. Okay.
No, you're good though. I like your Dragon Ball analogy. I didn't think I was gonna.
Funny that you bring up Steve
my
Kerr
pizza.
though. He is obviously the Krillin.
Goodness gracious.
But Basil, here's the thing. See, if you're gonna say your Dragon Ball Z reference, in that case, if it were to be a Dragon Ball Z time frame, and if it was during the Frieza time frame, then the Bulls would be Frieza, and the Lakers, the Pistons, the Trailblazers, the Jazz, the Suns, all of them will be the Z Fighters who all got the work from Frieza.
Anyway, we're gonna put Michael Jordan in God tier, right below Bill Russell and Shaquille O'Neal.
No, he should be below no one.
No, he can't be. He can't be the top. He can't be the top.
Why can't he be the top, Chris?
Because he's not better than Shaq.
How is he not better than Shaq?
He can't be. He's not even better than Bill Russell.
Let me ask you: Can Shaq do a free throw?
No, the only way people like to compare Bill Russell to Michael Jordan. The only way you can compare them is their eras. The eras are totally different. NBA in the 60s. Nobody was watching NBA in the 60s. People were watching NBA in the 90s. The world was watching NBA in the 90s. They know who Michael Jordan is.
Yeah.
No one knows who Bill Russell is outside of America.
Yeah, I know. Which is why Michael Jordan needs to go to the front.
No, I'm just saying. No, he should. He's not better than Bill Russell. Bill Russell was 11
just to give you an idea, there was a whole basketball anime back in the 90s, and no other professional ever got brought up except for Michael Jordan and a pair of Air Jordans.
I can see where Kris is coming from as far as like having it under like Bill Russell. I mean, if you want to take it even a literal standpoint, I mean, there would be no Michael Jordan if there was no Bill Russells who even had to endure all the shit that was going on in the 60s in this country during that time, and Boston for that matter. Anyway,
in Boston, one of the most racist cities of all time.
So
I still can't believe they did Bill Russell dirty.
I can see where Kris is coming from in that perspective, but also it's true. You do have to compare eras. If we were to compare, say, like Steph Curry to say, like David Thompson back in the 80s, who was a great player, by the way.
Who's David Thompson? I'm not playing. I really don't know who David Thompson is.
I'll talk about that later, son. But you really do have to compare eras. Like the way that it is right now, Jordan would average like 50 in today's game. In his prime, he would average like 50.
I wouldn't say 50. Today, I would say a good 40.
A lot of the players today couldn't even handle the physicality that Michael Jordan basically grew up with.
You're right.
Or Bill Russell.
And guess what? A lot of those players who were playing in the 80s and 90s, they can't play in today's game because of how the rules are. You can touch somebody on the wrist and not be a flagrant.
That's when they just go up to the 70s. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do the same thing you do in the 90s and even now in the 60s and 70s. There were different rules back then.
So that's why you have to say like
okay. If we're gonna do era comparisons, I feel like at least those in the 60s and 70s could get away with or could play by modern day rules better than those from the 80s and 90s.
The most modern day they can go is probably between the 80s to the 2000s, and that's it.
That was the best era in basketball. The last good year of physical basketball was 06. I
agree.
That's when they changed all the rules. They even changed the ball. Remember when they changed the ball?
Oh, fuck, they did change that.
See, I would have said 04.
No. Because the Pistons went against the Spurs in 05, which against a man we're not going to talk about on this show. We're not going to talk about this man.
Okay.
You better not get his jersey for me for Father's Day either. If you do, we're never friends again.
Hey, how about this? Hey, I'll buy you all the championship jerseys. How about I do that, son?
All the championship jerseys? Like what? Like what? What we talking? Like all the sports teams, or like?
I mean, we got the Lakers, we got the Rockets, we got the Spurs ones and such. So that's 2, 3. That's
over all the championship teams that I've seen in my lifetime that I've actually watched on TV. I give the Spurs respect. The Spurs deserve my respect.
They do too.
They get my respect.
Because of how they played the game.
Because they weren't even like huge superstars. People just knew their names because they were dropping buckets. Literally. Every time. They were like
very technical basketball.
Like the Pistons were like the ultimate nobodies.
Yeah,
okay.
But
the Spurs were like a step up from that. And they were winning basketball games at a better rate than the Pistons.
And the Pistons really represent, you know, the reason why I think, because like growing up in Detroit as a 9-year-old and started seeing how it was at that time, see, it represented the city, you know, a blue collar city with blue collar people and such.
Going against Los Angeles.
Against Los Angeles, where a traditional white collar Tinseltown, you know.
Not even white collar. These were movie stars. These were Showtime Lakers.
And the fact that we not just beat them, but we told that ass up.
We was like, we'll let you win a game so we can win at home.
And that's really
was funny.
Here's the thing.
A pity win.
Yeah, we're like, we'll let you win so we can go back home with the championship.
I would still say that is my favorite championship team that I have personally ever seen play the game.
That's up there. That one is 04, 2011 Mavericks, 08 Celtics, and then I would say the 2016 Cavs.
I will put on there the 04 Pistons, the 2001 Lakers. Kind of
the Lakers.
Let me finish.
It's a good one though.
It's a good one, but it's the Lakers. Fuck the Lakers.
Like the 2001 Lakers, the 2004 Pistons. I would also say the 2011 Mavs, aka the Like Mike squad, and I would also say, and it would be controversial, the 2021 Bucks team.
Why would you say the Bucks team though?
Well, actually, it was a good team, but
that was a good finals. But I'm not saying because.
But if I think about with my gut, I would probably say the 2015 Warriors team. Okay. The 2015 Warriors team.
Okay, that's cool.
Because I say that because I still remember, you know, when because I think I was working at Cedar Point at that time. Yeah, I was working at Cedar Point at that time. So fun nights during that summer of 2015. So those would be like my four. So
yeah, we're gonna talk about this last person. And before we begin, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Prayers to the Bryant family in the city of Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Lakers franchise. Obviously, the Clippers franchise, which is across the hallway.
Literally.
I'm going to say it right now. I did not like Kobe Bryant as a player when I was growing up as a little kid in Detroit. When I was growing up, I was like, okay, you the best? All right, I'm going to beat you. And that's what the Pistons did. We beat them in 04. He didn't do nothing after that. Until like 2008, when he went against the Celtics, got beat. So I was like, yes, he got beat again. 09 and 2010, okay, he won. Okay, Boston Celtics, blah, blah, blah. Then he won MVP again. I think he won 5 times, right? 3-time MVP? 2-time MVP.
Are you talking about finals?
Finals MVP. He won twice.
Twice.
Yeah, because Shaq won the other 3.
Yeah. Okay. Surprisingly, Kobe only won league MVP once, which is very surprising. Should have won like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, he should have.
He should have won in 2000. He really should have won in 2000.
In 2000. No, 2002 was his year.
I would say 2002
and 08.
2002, 2008, because I think that was the year Kobe averaged like 31 or something like that a game, and single-handedly put the Lakers in the 8th seed.
And then maybe 2010. I'll give him 2010.
Yeah, so really that's like 3 or 4 league MVP that Kobe should have won. And in reality.
Yeah. But yeah, Kobe Bryant, where would he go and got to though?
Well, definitely.
Would he go below Michael Jordan?
I'm putting him.
Would he go below Magic?
Hear me out.
No,
because when you think of the Lakers, you think of Abdul-Jabbar, Magic, Kobe. In actually all three of our lifetimes, we've only known the Lakers to beat Kobe Bryant's team.
I would.
I mean, without except Basil, because Basil's old, so he probably knows it's a Shaq team.
I will say this now.
Well, no, Shaq went to the Lakers to play with Kobe.
Yeah,
I remember when Shaq was with. Yeah, I remember
Orlando.
He was first with Magic.
Yeah, and plus Orlando don't know how to keep superstar big men.
I mean, no, he did just don't know how to keep superstars.
How did they ever make it to an NBA final?
Because they had two other people on the team, Hardaway and what's his face?
You would have thought they would have gotten rid of him before that.
Yeah.
No.
Because Brian made a good point. They don't know how to keep good talent.
He was still on his rookie deal. That's why.
Right. And how is this for a crazy? No, since we ain't talking about Atlanta, how is this for a potential big three? Tim Duncan, Tim Duncan, Grant Hill, and Tracy McGrady on the same team in the early 2000s.
Man, the Grant Hill would have won a championship in the 90s. Oh, if they would have won the 94 championship, I'm playing.
Because straight up, no. Because I think.
What do you mean Grant Hill on the same team as?
Yeah,
or you said just a Magic.
Tim Duncan came out. I think some time ago, and actually said that he was actually on track to actually join the Orlando Magic in free agency, and move away from the Spurs. But
that was before the Spurs were huge.
And the reason, they already won a championship at this time.
Yeah, but they weren't like the Spurs. They were like, okay, the Spurs of the '99 year, which wasn't really. They were like U2 when War came out, and not like U2 when the Joshua Tree came out. Dang, that's old. All right,
it's good. It's a good analogy though. Kobe for me goes.
No, because U2 was big before the Joshua Tree came out. What are you talking about?
I know I just said it, but they were big when War came out, but they were really big when the Joshua Tree came out.
No, they weren't.
No.
They weren't big until their other album in 91 or 92. They were big, quote unquote. No, they were big, quote unquote. Joshua Tree didn't get critical acclaim until later on in the album's lifetime. They won that year because they were trying to mess up Michael Jackson's legacy in the 80s.
I ain't gonna lie.
Because he pretty much dominated the Grammys of 83, 84 with Thriller.
He did. He really did.
In 88, he should have won pretty much almost the same amount of Grammys with the Bad album. But they were like, no, he ain't winning shit. He ain't winning shit this year. They were like, Bad on the Joshua Tree. They was like, Joshua Tree. All the niggas was like, what?
I mean, it's a good album, don't get me wrong, but Bad.
Not better than Bad. Come on now. Not better than Smooth Criminal. Man in the Mirror, Speed Demon. Okay, anyway.
That's like your least favorite song on the album.
It is. No, Liberian Girl is my worst song on the album.
Oh, wow.
I hate Liberian Girl.
I almost had it right. But
Speed Demon is actually one of my favorite songs on that album.
Kobe, I would put. But then I heard like the special edition with with Streetwalker and Just Good Friends. The one with Steve and such.
I was like, get out of here, Mike. Anyway, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe
between MJ and Magic.
I would say God tier ahead of LeBron James.
So you're saying Magic over Kobe?
Kris Vacanti.
What happened? Oh, my bad. I put him in all right now. My bad. I just made people mad. I'm sorry, y'all. It's on my this on my iPad, so it's like it sticks.
I'm messing with you.
Anyway, we're gonna go back to put him back in all right now.
Oh my Lord.
All right now. I'm disrespecting my man's name. Let's put Kobe right there. He won 5 championships with the Lakers.
He has. It will always be this, but it will always be Kobe. Will always be my favorite basketball player of all time that I have personally seen play the game for most of my life. That always will. I have the jerseys, shoes, the books, still on the VHS.
And yes, ladies, he can still fit them after 15 years. He's been the same height ever since he was 9 years old.
You know what?
Anyway, that's been another edition of the KrisCross Corner.
3 inches. Get off his back.
Please stay safe, social distance, and be nice to each other.